everybody. Welcome to Friday. We made it. We made it in one piece. We survived. We're here. And who are we? Why, well, I can't speak for any of you people, but I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, a.k.a. the Dungeon Delver, coming at you live on this end-of-week event. And, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. We kicked off the week with some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. We played some Conflict under Kyle's steady hand. Wednesday night. Last night, class was in session. We talked a little how to be a good AD&D dungeon master, and then I was actually over. Dylan Duhan was kind enough to host me on an open mic over on Twitter, which was a lot of fun. And tonight, after the preamble, of course, we're going to be talking some Gamma World. That's right, we're going to go back to the apocalypse with our Friday night Gamma World group, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And this whole shebang is brought to you by our friends at Hellebarde Games. Hellebarde makes the kind of adventures they'd like to play, whether it's for Castles and Crusades, for 5th edition, or for the OSR. Old school is in play at the table with Hellebarde, and you can find them on DriveThruRPG, actually, or on their website, hellebardegames.com. And we've got some fun lined up for you this evening, folks. Some smashingly good radioactivity and mutants and all that sort of thing for our intrepid survivors to explore and, you know, just have fun with. Sorry, I've been parched. But anyway, folks, this is pretty impressive. I haven't seen our subscription numbers jump up so fast in a long time. We're at 4860 something. You know what? I gotta look, and I want to, because I always want to do this right. You know, I always want to make sure that I've got the right of it. Let me see here. We are at. The reason I want to do this is because, of course, I want to. I want to give proper thanks to everyone. I want to give exact proper thanks to everyone. We are at 4,862 subscribers on this channel, which blows my damn mind, because it seems like just yesterday we were like down in the 4830s. So it's really, really taken off. It's really jumped up, and I feel I feel like you know, it's just things are just moving along at a good clip, and it's thanks in large part to you guys. Now, the best thing you can do to support the show, if you're just coming here, like, you know, you followed a link from Discord, you'll follow a link from Facebook, you followed a link from Twitter, or YouTube threw something at you and said, you know, hey, this guy is live streaming. The best thing you can do if you want to support the show is to click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications. If you really, really, really want to support the show, you can become one of our YouTube members, or you can support the show on Patreon. The YouTube membership thing is, I think it's down here somewhere if you look down where I'm pointing. But the links to the Patreon support is right there in the crawl. And I should point out that at the $10 level, whether you are a YouTube member or whether you are a patron, every month you will receive a nice, compact, mini first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons module at the $10 level or up. I haven't figured out what to do with the further tiers yet, but I'm sure an idea will come along as quickly as the module idea came along. God, I hope it's faster than that. But anyway, so that's a way you can support the show if you like the show enough to support it. Or you know what? Just give us a thumbs up and leave a comment down below under the live video and let me know what you like about the show, and I'll do more of it. If you want, give me a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments what you didn't like about the show, and I'll do less of it. I'm a very flexible guy, eager to please. So you let me know, and I'll do my damnedest, okay? But anyway, so that's what's going on. Graph paper, I'm going to tell you. Papa's birthday party is tonight, so I'm only here for a second. May the rolls be ever in your favor. Love me some mayhem. Well, happy birthday to your pop there, graph paper architect. Anyway, listen, I want everybody in the chat to @Tonka-Todd and tell him to get a PayPal account, please. Finally got my money from YouTube a couple of weeks ago, granted, for July, and was able to send the birthday money that you guys super chatted to Tonka-Todd for him. But it was like, okay, what's your PayPal? How to do this? I don't have one. And I'm like, oh my God, who doesn't have to? Okay, all right, Cash App. I don't have one. And then yesterday, like the Western Union app was like, okay, how many Swedish kroners do you want to send from your canton? And I'm like, I'm not in Sweden. I just want to send American dollars to a fellow American. It was like, so I ended up going to the post office and buying a money order and mailing it to him. But anyway, so so that's taken care of. And I was happy about it. I think in the future, if you guys want to send birthday supers to people, just if somebody says it's my birthday, just ask them for their PayPal info and send it straight to them. First of all, they'll get all their money because YouTube will take 30% of it. They don't, you know, as the man said, they come to wish you an unhappy birthday. So now you know what happens when we send money on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. Todd got a taste of exactly what I deal with month to month. It's like YouTube's telling me like, oh, you have this giant wad of money. Awesome. When do I get that? End of October. Really? But then it has to make money for them, right? They have to make interest on the tens, hundreds, thousands, tens thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions. They have to make interest off of that, right? They'll funnel that into various interest systems and wait for inflation to sink the price of the money before you get it and all that sort of thing. Lightmane says, along with a few other channels. Thank you, Lightmane. I'll check it out. Tonka-Todd is not in Sweden. Oh my God. It was the Western Union website that was defaulting to Sweden and would not let me set it to like wherever I wanted to send money from. Clone number 432. I thought you sanctioned 432. I didn't realize he'd escaped containment, Todd. But anyway. So here's a little bit of news. A little bit of gaming news, but computer gaming news. Actually, I'm going to share two things with you. two fun gaming news things, because I don't think they really get traction as interstitials. So I'll just tell this to you guys, a little Friday RPG news. Show of hands if you remember the video game Wizardry, or Wizardry, because they always spelled it with an exclamation point at the end, which I thought was pretty cool. More video games should have their titles with an exclamation point, like Doom. Doom would have been better as Doom, don't you think? But anyway, there is a 3D remake of Wizardry that is in early beta. And I gotta admit, I think that's pretty cool. Now, I'll only really like if it has the exploits that Wizardry Proving Ground of the Wizardry Proving Ground of the Mad Overlord had, like get a character, roll up 5 other characters, trade all their gold to that character, dump those 5 characters, and just keep doing that over and over again until your party can afford like top-notch gear at level 1, instead of like, well, our best fighter has leather armor and a shield, you know. But I'm excited about that. It looks kind of interesting. And if you don't know what Wizardry is, Wizardry, it came out in 1979 for the Apple II, but you had to have that 48K expansion. You had to be rocking a pretty expensive piece of kit. It came out for the Apple II in 1979 and the Commodore 64 a number of years later, which is how I got to play it, but it also came out for the IBM PC. But it is a first-person wireframe, one step at a time dungeon crawler that is effectively at its core advanced D&D. Some of the classes are changed around. You have bishops instead of clerics. You have ninjas instead of assassins. I think the thieves may have been rogues. But you have a 10-level dungeon, and your goal is to go all the way to the end, fight and kill Weirdna, which is the name of one of the developers, Andrew, backwards. Fight and kill Weirdna and retrieve this amulet. And let me tell you what, it is a killer. It is an absolute killer. And Wizardry had a persistent world. Well, the dungeon was persistent. Solo encounter monsters stayed dead after you killed them. And parties could die. And like if your entire party was wiped out, if there was a TPK, the game would save where you died. A new party could find their gear. Often was the time when I would lose a party, create just slap together a rescue party to go get them because I had mapped out where they were, and I would send them down there, and in the process of getting to them, they would become more powerful, and I would have wound up with better characters. So I'd get to them and I'd be like, I guess some of this gear is okay. I wouldn't add the dead bodies back. I'd just leave them there. So, I'm really and truly intrigued. I really want to see if this thing can capture that feel. Now, along the same lines, I don't know if they're using a proprietary 3D engine, but let's talk about game engines. It is very much the norm now to buy or lease a game engine. You don't develop the deep guts in-house. And imagine if you started a car company, but you wanted everybody to focus on the styling, you wanted everybody to focus on the accessories and all the greeblies and all the cool stuff. But the engine was made by Honda or Ford or somebody like that. And lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of companies did that. And you became known, you being Honda, Ford, whoever, became known as the company that made the engines. And the companies making the car bodies and everything, you know, they would modify those engines, they would use those engines differently and so on. That's kind of where we are in computer games. There are a few companies that make engines for games, and a whole lot of developers that just bolt their own graphics on and make the engines do whatever they want. So I want you to imagine. Well, thank you for being John David, and thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I want you to imagine a company that creates a set of rules, an engine, if you will, for game creation, and says, it's here, it's open, use it, enjoy it, knock yourselves out. We have licensing agreements, but they're nice and open, an open license agreement, if you will. And everything's hunky-dory for years and years. Now imagine the company that makes that engine and licenses it out suddenly decides they're going to completely alter that bargain and start charging more money. But don't worry, it's only for companies that make lots of money with the engine. It won't impact the little guys. Does this sound familiar? Does this sound like what Wizards of the Coast did back in January? This is what Unity, the company that makes a game engine that drives just unnumbered games on Steam, on indie platforms, on GOG, and it's multi-platform: Mac, Windows, consoles, mobile. So the company Unity basically dropped a bomb and said, yeah, we're changing that license up. It's probably not going to affect most of you, but here you go. It is precisely what Wizards of the Coast did with the OGL. And I should point out that they're still doing. I don't believe them, and I don't trust them that they backed off of this. But that is what's going on right now in computer games. Now, I don't fully understand the technology that drives Unity or the impact. But guys, look, let me tell you something. It has always been, and it will always be, that there is one 800-pound gorilla in tabletop games, and it's they who own Dungeons and Dragons. It's not. I don't care what you think. I don't care how you feel about this. Feelings don't matter in this discussion. It's not Paizo. It's not whoever is pulling the strings at White Wolf. It's not Troll Lord. It's not Frog God. And it's not Bill Sylvie selling you guys modules for $10 a pop. It is Wizards of the Coast Hasbro. As big as they are, pen and paper role-playing games are an insignificant drop in a drop that is a drop in the bucket compared to video games. So Unity pulling this will have far-reaching effects, way further. They are going to cause the shutdown and collapse of so many game studios. I can't even begin to tell you what this is going to do. And what we're going to wind up with is Microsoft, whatever the Embracer group owns, and Ubisoft. Are you sick of buggy sandbox games and COD games being shat out as fast as Madden games are? And Ass Creed games the same? Too bad, because that's the future of video games if Unity gets away with this. This will be an indie scene. It's just going to go from a blooming, blossoming, hustling, bustling indie scene to back to people just, trying to teach themselves C, if they're going to even bother anymore. So welcome to the nightmare future. And you know what? I think it's safe to say that we can lay this at the feet of Wizards of the Coast. You cut people, blood gets in the water, other sharks smell it. And they start circling around looking for other people to bite. Well, we tabletop gamers are already fighting off the great white Wizards of the Coast. So we're occupied already. So who does Unity move into strike? Indie video game developers. So let's remember the indie video game developers, because they're right where indie tabletop creators were in January. That's correct, AZ. I didn't mention Rockstar and Volition because honestly, they're dead on their feet. But speaking of business, I should have saved all this for Monday. Now I'm not going to have anything to talk about RPG Newsy on Monday, but I thought this was really relevant. So you guys know who Bill Willingham is, right? I mean, his stuff graces so many advanced Dungeons and Dragons and indeed basic Dungeons and Dragons products. Bill Willingham, look up his artwork. Turn Safe Search on. Bill did some pretty racy stuff too. But he did the awesome cover painting to G123 Against the Giants. That's his work. I think he did the back of Ghost Tower of Inverness, maybe even the front too. But Bill Willingham worked at TSR for a long time and did some absolutely amazing art. But Bill Willingham has had a very successful comic book run with a series called Fables. And it was published through DC. And basically DC started dicking him around on money. Now, probably one of the smartest things he did was he retained creative ownership of it. Like, you are just my publisher. This belongs to me. It all belongs to me. I let you publish it and make money with it, but it all belongs to me. Very smart, Mr. Willingham. Very smart. So do you know what he did today? When he got tired of being dicked over by Warner Brothers, DC Comics, he said, okay, I'm taking it all back and I'm putting it all out in public domain. He released his entire run of comics into public domain. Fables is now a public domain title. God damn, you got to admire that. I mean, you know, he's one of us. Yeah, you know, he's a comic artist. Probably wouldn't come on this show and talk about D&D with me, but you know, good Lord, everything just, it's out there. It's public domain. I should have had some tabs pulled up to share with you guys. We've only got a few minutes before Gamma World. I don't know, Vaughn. Yang wonders if he's looking for some work. Again, don't know. I appreciate that. You know, I sit on the fence sometimes and I wonder if I was a fool to release my AD&D modules. The first ones, the solo ones, DD1 and DD2, and then WGH2 through WGH5 for free. But you know, they're out there now. They're out there. You can get to, you know, you can get them. You can get your hands on them. Because I wanted that stuff to be out there. I wanted those things to be out there, and I wanted them to be, I wanted them in people's hands. So that's, you know, that's something that I kind of insisted on doing. So I get it, right? I get it. But I mean, that was just so guts. That was such a gutsy move. Sorry, I'm just sending something. But I mean, you guys tell me what you think about it. You know, I'm sitting here running my mouth. Oh, WGH1. WGH1, that's the question, isn't it? WGH1 is my mega dungeon, and it is 90% up here. I don't know that it'll ever see the light of day. I run it as Castle Greyhawk in my Monday night, in my closed Monday night group. But I don't know that it'll ever get published, ever. You need it. I need it too. I stare at blank pages and the words just don't just fall out of my eyes onto it. I'm sorry. The WGH modules are all on Google Drive. You can find all those on my Google Drive. If you ask the many people who've downloaded them, if you ask the many people, one of them did get published. We cleaned it up. We de-Greyhawkified it. And over at Hellabard Games, Temple of the Sun, WGH2. It's a standalone, but WGH3, WGH4, and WGH5 are a linked series of modules. The Howling Hills series, I'm quite proud of those. I ran those as convention modules back in the day. And that is how I built up a big fan following at some local conventions, was running those. And then I eventually took my messy notes and made AD&D looking modules, and I thoroughly enjoy them. Hellabard did publish WGH2. So we're waiting. Right now, we're waiting on a couple more people to enter the green room and get ready. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Anyone else out there? Can't find the Google Drive with the others. You know what? I'll put it up on my YouTube community page after the live stream tonight. So if you're subbed to the channel, so you'll see a little community note there, and I'll put all the Google Drive links to the modules there. It's the Temple of Gamalama Whirl Night. Yes. All right. Corporation behind Unity. Oh, I thought that was directed at me. Make the late guy wear a pink hard hat. Well, we don't use camera, so yeah, we're waiting on Kevin right now. We'll give him about 3 more minutes, and then we'll get going. But anyway, I do appreciate you guys all being here. Thank you, of course. You know, it's wonderful to see everyone. We'll get going here in just a hot minute. I just got to set a couple of things up. Everybody else doing all right? Everybody else having a good time? I hope you are. I hope you are. You know what? Let's put that over there tonight. And see what happens when we do this. So we have this spiffy on-screen die roller. I just got to make sure that it is working and that everything is copacetic and 5x5. There it is. All right. Yeah, those of you that have PCs that can run Starfield, you have that. I was like, hey, you think I have an 8 gig video card? You think Starfield will run on? People are like, oh yeah. What is it? Oh, it's a 1080. Well, I mean, it's 1080 Ti. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, you might have to chop some things down, but yeah, you've got like a Ryzen 7, right? And it's like, no, I have a 4th gen 4770. Enjoy Fallout 4. That's what can we tell you? What can we tell you? All right. Well, Fuchsia runs it in wireframe VGA, like Battlezone. You're gonna just set the palette to green. All right. Well, it looks like we're going to be limping along with 3 tonight. So why don't we go ahead and welcome to the studio our Gamma World contestants. And as we only have 3 tonight, Vaughn, the iBeast, will appear in a later episode. I want everybody here for the iBeast. It's that special. It's that important. But fear not, it's coming. But I have said too much. Let's welcome our players, ladies and gentlemen. Before I do, I know we're at the 35-minute mark, but there's something I have to address. This is a technical issue. I've had some folks leave comments because they come back and they watch the live streams. And listen, whether you watch live or whether you watch later on YouTube, I love you and appreciate you anyway. The audio on the live streams is there's nothing I can do about it. I can adjust mine. a little bit, but it is basically, it's up to whatever connections our players have. And I'm so sorry about that. I know sometimes people are like, yeah, I listened to your show, and like when the guest was talking, I had to turn the volume all the way up, and then when you started talking, I had to turn it all the way down. So it's not that I don't care. I care deeply. And, you know, if I could set up a studio in everybody's house to normalize the audio, I would. If there's any way that I can fix it in post after the live streams, I'll try and do that. But thank you all for your patience. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started, and let's welcome a man, no, more than a man. What can I say other than send in the clones? It's Rex Dashington, played by our very own Yang Yan Zhao. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone.
And of course, a man who is probably sane, Doomsword Deathmaster.
What's up?
And it's Friday, but we have a Monday on Friday. So everybody, I hope you do like Mondays, because this is Connect's character. Hello.
Hey, Pete.
How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good.
All
good
right.
to see you too.
Okay, so Vocal Gumby says every video session is like that on every channel. Okay. Are you too loud, generally? I don't think so, Doomsword, but I blew out my ears with the first bout of concert going I did in the early 90s. So
yeah, for sure.
You know, just a little too much Rush, a little too much Metallica. It wasn't until I think concert number 9 that I said, earplugs are a good thing, you know, ear protection at these is a good thing. You know, something about waking up on Saturday morning and my ears still ringing. That's
I used to like to headbang next to the stacks. You know.
I think we all did, you know. But anyway, so with that said, last we left the group, you all had returned to Sanctuary and were plotting your next move. Rex had found his family in cryostasis in Disney in the distant southern jungles. Unfortunately, their bodies weren't used to the mutated bioweapon remnants still floating around the atmosphere of Gamma World that you have all developed natural immunities to. So they had to go back into stasis lest they suffer further injury. Walt had hinted that you might be able to explore elsewhere throughout Gamma World and find elements that his Imagineers could maybe put together some kind of a vaccine for Rex Dashington's wife and child. But of course, you can all just explore as you like or dislike. It's entirely up to you. So what you gonna do?
Well, I think Operation Warp Speed is off the table, so what's next?
Well, we can try an ancient center of technology like Tokyo or London or Scranton. Or we could try to find the Orlans in, they said, on the Sapphire Islands.
I just want to get healed first before I go back out.
Man, I don't even know what you people's talking about.
And I should point out that a day's rest equals 1 hit point of healing back. So if you guys want to just rest normally and not use up any of Stronghold's kind of limited resources, you can. But I'll leave it up to y'all.
I was down too, so yeah, I assume it's going to take 2 days to get out of here. At least.
Well, I
think
had
we've
a lot more than that.
I think we've all earned some vacation time after our vacation. Why don't we take a few weeks?
All right. So you guys are going to stay primarily in Stronghold, correct? You're not, or Sanctuary rather. You're not going to go on little jaunts. You're just staying in the base, right?
Yeah, I don't intend to do much.
Yeah, I don't have anywhere to go. I don't know anything here.
Okay. Well, time passes quickly then. You occasionally have to take the bubble car over and retrieve some food and take some trade goods to Goodwater, which is just a few kilometers away from Sanctuary. They're happy to see you. The bubble car is, of course, a wonder. So once all is said and done, and you're all healed back up, presumably you have charged up your weapons to the best of your knowledge.
Definitely.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All charged.
Okay, where do you want to go then?
So I'm back up to full, I'm assuming?
Yes, you had ample time to rest.
Okay, cool.
So do we want to check out the Orland? Do we want to find another city? Do we want to go to Mars?
Well, I don't know,
Man.
which is the most pressing or interesting of the choices.
Well, I mean, for Rex, he just wants anywhere with some tech so that he can look into how to upgrade Walt's antiviral capabilities.
How about this? Which one's gonna make me less miserable?
Well, is there a medical city or something like that we can two-prong it, that we could maybe bring some of the stuff he needs and stock up on med kits?
A medical center sounds horrible. No, I'm just gonna be honest. That sounds like it's gonna make me feel like crap.
Well, I think there was a CDC, like I think it stood for Citizens Disease Community back in old Atlanta. They knew a lot about anti-disease stuff. Did you ever encounter that?
You're gonna have to nuke that site from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Oh, it's that bad, huh?
I don't know. I'm just talking stuff.
Well, I know in the ancient world, people used to go to a place called Mexico to get medicine, and sometimes they would go to Thailand for what they called plastic surgery. I'm not sure why they were using plastic to do surgery, but maybe that's a start.
Man, what place is close?
With the bubble car,
Car,
everything
we
is
can go
close.
everywhere.
All right, hell with it. You pick.
Monday, where have you always wanted to go?
Let's go someplace far away. So which one is the farther of those two?
I think it would be the Thailand.
All right. Thailand it is.
Open world.
Yeah. Doremi says, look, I don't want to be a nervous Nelly, but we go to this Thailand, and I'm just flying us there. I'm not risking my neck. I mean, with all respect, Rex, you do need somebody alive to pilot you out of there, right?
Preferably, yes.
Does make things a little easier.
What did that mean? And that meant you weren't going down? That meant you was flying us over there and you just gonna hang out?
He's gonna keep his seat warm, I think.
Exactly. I'm not dusting off and leaving you guys behind, if that's what you're wondering. I guess what I'm saying is I'm staying with the bubble car.
Doe,
right
if you could do us a favor, last time there was that Orlin incident, and I have to say the car still has an Orlin smell. So if you could maybe keep outsiders out of the car, we'd appreciate that.
I think it's kind of an enchanting musk myself, but okay.
Just take some stuff to clean it while you're there, maybe.
Man, you should have seen this Chef Coney guy we had. Oh,
He reaches into a shirt pocket and pulls out a crinkled bit, a square of clear ancient plastic, and inside of it is a green serrated triangle. And he says, "I have this."
Wow.
Blurry letters, but you think you can make out fresh air on it.
Did Steve give you that? That's amazing.
He did. In fact, Steve did give me this. He brought them from when Outpost 76 was vacated. He brought these with him. He's quite the techinish.
He certainly is. You should meet him Monday. I got nothing but mad respect for Steve.
Cool. I'll take your word for it. That would be very interesting.
All right. Well, whenever you guys are ready, we can take off.
man, I was born ready.
Before we leave, is there something better than what I have on for armor? Because I feel like a musical instrument here.
Man, didn't I already give you some damn police armor or some crap like that?
Yeah, she has.
Okay.
You have. We established that last week. That
Okay.
It's the same armor class, but you don't sound like a bunch of trash cans being thrown down a flight of stairs.
Okay, so I'm a little bit more flexible.
Yes. Alrighty, so your good pal there, Do Re Mi, climbs into the pilot's seat. There's this sort of keening sound, and the bubble car rises a couple of meters and then slams back down into the ground. And he says, "I hope everybody was wearing their seatbelts." He flips
the damn problem.
He's flipping a couple of switches. He looks at you and says, "The prefamulated amulite marsal veins have gone off the spurving bearing."
The damn spurving bearing. It's always the spurving bearing.
Can you fix it?
No. Unfortunately, the Coptic stator has been completely polarized. It'll have to be replaced, but I don't know where. There's not one here, and these things are scarcer than hen's teeth. I mean, for the hens that don't have teeth.
What's a hen?
There are hens that do have teeth. A hen. It's about 2.5 meters tall. Tastes like chicken.
You can eat them.
Yeah, or ride them around. It's entirely up to you. Look, the point is, until we find a replacement part, bubble car no go. I mean, there's ruins within a few days walking of, or one of our ground vehicles driving of Sanctuary here we could check out, and maybe we can find a part there or something I can cobble together. But we're not flying to Thailand, as much fun as that sounds, anytime soon.
It does sound like fun, don't it? That's what I was thinking. Whatever. We
I
walk
guess
from
we
here.
need to find a part.
Stop
right.
breaking our stuff, though.
Well, Doe, that gives you more time to work on that smell issue. All right, guys, let's get the Terran car and head on out.
All right.
He says, and by the way, see if you can find any parts for a retro encabulator while you're out there.
Make me a list.
And maybe pictures.
Does Sanctuary have radio?
Yeah, they've got some communication devices.
So, theoretically, I think Rexon probably would be able to communicate with base if needed.
For some distance, maybe.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, Steve actually has a map of the area. He greets you with the traditional greeting. Howdy, folks. Check under the hood for you.
Just 2 quarts, please.
So be it. What can I do for you, young Rex Dashington?
Steve, this is our newest friend and ally and soldier in Sanctuary's militia. Monday.
All right, I'll see you Monday. And he goes back and sits down. And
No, Steve. This young lady is Monday.
That's my name.
I see. Yes, well, you probably get that a lot. Greetings.
Greetings. I've heard good things about you.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. You're too kind. So, what is it that you need?
Well, we were hoping to borrow your map. We need to find a new, and Rex looks down at his list, confabulator and some other parts for the bubble car.
Okay, he goes and there is this ancient plastic display on one wall of his quarters there, and there are these slots, and he very carefully picks up a rectangular folded piece of parchment, and you watch him with great interest as he delicately unfolds it. You hear the yellowed plasticine paper crinkle and crackle as it opens, and the lines are faded, and he says, "Now, I do believe we're right here." And he taps something that's marked as a military base, so that would kind of follow, and he says, "If you are looking for car parts that you cannot source locally, I would check one of the big cities, like Ralj." And he points at a spot on the map, and it is certainly... Wait, I think I spelled that wrong. It's Raleigh. It's Raleigh. And he said, "Yes, go to Ralj."
So, just point of order, weren't we in Colorado?
No, you're somewhere along the coast of the Great Eastern Sea. just a little bit north of the southern peninsula.
Right, of course. All right. Well, I guess we could go to this Ralj. Do they have auto parts stores?
They should.
All right. Well, I'll make a note of it, and Rex sort of like draws out his own supplementary map based on that. That should be good.
Do you have a compass built into your armor that you can use, maybe coordinates or something similar?
It's a good question. Let me see if I can find the armor.
I mean, I'm going to assume GPS doesn't exist because satellites probably are no longer working, but...
Let me see. I have a two-way radio as part of a worldwide satellite communications network, which I guess is still there. Complete life support system with air conditioning. Oh, that functions independently without draining battery. That's neat. Let me see. Sound, ultraviolet, and infrared sensors, and the self-destruct mechanism. But no, I guess it does not have a common compass.
Yeah, you do. It's got a compass.
It says north, northeast, northwest. Just kind of a general thing.
It's going to be built into that.
It's inside there, one of those ones that's in the clear plastic ball that just floats there in some water.
It's very high tech looking. No, it's on your heads up display.
But if your armor ever splits, we might find that little ball in there somewhere.
It's possible. Who knows what he keeps in his glove compartment?
So whatever general direction, I guess, is where we go to get to the city for the part for the bubble car and maybe other stuff while we're there.
Yes, that's exactly what we have to do Monday. This is part of the life of a colony like this. You have to go scavenging for parts, and that's where the adventure is.
Well, it's a lot higher tech than I'm used to, so I'm here as part of it.
It's all right. We'll take you under our wings, probably as an expert at finding his way around through the countryside.
Huh? What?
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, I just woke up.
Well, you seem very experienced, so I trust you know a lot.
We leaving or what?
I think we should get going. Thank you very much for your help, Steve.
See y'all again real soon. Come back now, you hear? As the traditional goodbye.
It was very
Maybe
nice
you'll
meeting
be
you.
dead by the time we get back.
He sits down and opens one of the ancient scrolls, something called Field and Stream magazine, and carefully leafs through it. The new Zebco reels look real good this season, amen.
That guy would be a trout fisherman, wouldn't he?
He would, yes. If Trout still existed, yes, he would. This is all ritual to him.
Well, let's go pick up the car.
Okay, so once again, you have your a beater ground car. It is fueled up with alcohol to run its turbine, and as always, Rex, your power armor is taking up most of whatever you sit in there, and whatever seat you take, and so poor Do-Re-Mi is kind of crammed up against the door as he's trying to drive, probably sane, and Monday take up the rest of the back seat.
And in the trunk.
And I'll add that I'm full
rations
of
and such too, please.
I'm full of ethanol to power my turbine as well.
just ethanol. It's important, not methanol. Ethanol. Otherwise, your visual sensors will shut down. Okay, so you pile in and you depart for the city of Ralge, and you do have a full tank of fuel, so you can go a couple of 100 kilometers at the very least, and that should get you to Ralge and back if you don't dawdle, sit there and run the air conditioner sitting in a parking lot somewhere, All right, let's get a move on and see what you can see. You're mostly traveling through desolate wasteland, rather. So let's see. So we'll call this clear. And it's not going to take you but maybe part of a day to get there. So as you go, there's you don't really encounter anything, and a lot of it is you have to double back because the ancient roadways are a mess, and you have to pick your way through rubble and so on, and eventually you do come to a great barrier that looks like it has been erected at some point in the not too distant past, and it's many slabs of concrete that have been kind of stacked up, and there's very obvious long bits of metal with spikes welded in it and so on, and signs have been painted that say advance slowly, leave vehicles here.
So it's still erect.
Well, no, it looks somewhat organized. There's barbed wire on top of the barrier and that sort of thing. There's a gap about 1 meter wide, but it's offset, so you don't just walk straight through. You kind of gotta walk around. This is someone's perimeter.
I'll look around along the top of the wall, right and left, and kind of scan down toward the bottom. Just make sure there's nothing conspicuous, at least, that's aiming at us. Nobody's got a weapon out right now.
So there's
that means
people.
There's individuals.
I'm sorry, there was some crosstalk. Rex, what'd you say?
Sorry, just asking if there was people.
You don't immediately see any, no.
What do you think, Rex?
Well, I mean, A meter is pretty darn small.
Yeah, we
Think we
ain't
could-
fitting a vehicle through there.
Do you think we can drive around it?
No, the car is like 2 meters and change wide.
I mean, around the entire wall.
Oh yeah, I mean, I suppose it's kind of rough that way to the left, but around the other way, it looks like it's clear for a few hundred meters anyway. And then there's those ruined buildings we'd have to thread our way through.
Man, how come every time we really need you, you get lazy?
What do you mean I get lazy? I'm telling you, difficult to drive that way, clear that way. He asked me a question.
Man, I'm walking. Keep the car safe.
Yeah, I'll walk. Because we have to conserve
right.
gas.
Well,
Nope.
Guys, I don't think we can walk all the way to Ralge from here.
I think this is it. I mean,
Oh, this is Ralge?
probably. I don't know. Let me see that. Do you have a copy of the map?
Yeah, I drew it right here. And I'll show them what I
Okay.
drew.
Well, I wouldn't
All
think
right.
they would have like a blockage up if it was just the middle of nowhere, would they?
Some of these mountain folk are real particular about you going on their property.
Oh,
Rex knows because he's been everywhere. There's like
Yeah.
18 of them walking
It's like-
around.
Yeah, look, I mean, right here, if you copied the line right, yeah, we're on the outskirts of Ralge for sure.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess we could walk from here then.
Well, have
You
fun.
decide that all on your own? Come on, man. Stay
All right.
grab some of the rations just to be on the safe side in case we're stuck in there for a couple days.
Okay.
I don't want you to waste the gas, so park it under some trees and just crack the windows. You'll be fine.
He looks
Means
around
no
at the
AC.
he looks around at the expanse of broken concrete and metal and says, "Tree, right." Okay. He's making sure the safety's off on his laser pistol, and he's got his laser right. He's setting all this stuff out, and he's like, "Yeah. So let me know on the radio when you're coming back. How long should I wait for you?"
Forever.
Yeah, we'll be back. Depends on what we're picking up.
I mean, what's your life worth anyways? Mine's worth nothing.
Anyway, good luck. The parts that you're looking for, Steve let me note down and make a list there, and I used that image duplicator, so you've got pictures of them right there. Look for warehouses of any tech and see if you can find them there.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Well, pictures are definitely helpful.
Yeah, good luck.
Well, we ready? I am.
Yep, I'll grab
Yeah.
my vibroblade and my laser rifle and a bunch of my cells. And I've got the energy cloak with me too, I guess. And some rations. And water. So
Okay.
Any idea what a auto car parts thing will look like?
You have no idea.
Well, he said it was a warehouse. Unfortunately, he didn't say where the house is, but We'll keep looking.
Okay.
Yeah, and generally, like looking around, scanning the perimeter and stuff. What does it look like? I mean, is there anything that seems like something of interest, or
Well, there's just the wall that's a good couple of meters high. What will you guys do?
Right. So we haven't penetrated it yet. Yeah.
I didn't want to just say, well, you walk over here.
Sure. Yeah, I'm gonna take the left side and I'm gonna peek around the corner and then scan to the right, in like a 180-degree arc and see what I see. Somebody shoots me, they shoot me, whatever.
Okay. Nobody shoots you. There's like a man trap of chain link fencing that's kind of been strung together and so on. There's a table with a chair sitting next to it knocked over, but you don't see anyone there, and there's an open yard beyond that. You think because there are these plasticky tarpaulins that have been strung up at the far end of the man trap area. They're kind of flapping faintly in the very slight breeze, and they sort of obscure what you can see.
Okay, and this man trap closes off further entrance unless it's dealt with, right? Like there's not a gap around it on either end or anything like that.
Correct. It is right up against the entrance. Like to go in, you have to take a hard right, and then you go like 5 meters, and then hook back around to the left, then around to the right where the table is, and then back to the left, and it looks like there's an opening there that is on the left that opens out into whatever is beyond. But there's
anybody got a cutter or an aid? I ain't climbing through that crap.
Could Rex just tear it apart with his suit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this looks like it was made to keep honest people honest, not to prevent a concerted effort to force your way into here. Now, as far as you know, no one at Goodwater or Sanctuary ever went to Ralge, despite the fact that it's only like 100 kilometers away. So you don't know. Maybe you're committing some horrible faux pas doing that. But yeah, I mean, you could very easily grab this stuff and just drag it down and knock it down and tear your way through.
Maybe we should try the friendly way first.
What's the friendly way?
Go up to the door and ask to go in.
What door?
Well, it's all chain link. I mean, you can see all the way to where the tarpaulins are hanging, and there's nobody there.
Oh, well, all right, screw it. I break it open.
Okay.
I've not seen such bravery. Good job, Rex.
All right. Yeah. So you're tearing your way through, and you've made a Rex in power armor sized hole through the rows of chain link fencing, and you are now standing up where the tarpaulins are. Are you going beyond them?
Sure. I'll take the left flank. If they follow me, they do. If they don't, they don't.
I'll follow.
Let me see here. Hang on a second. Okay. So this is some kind of ancient open area. You see a few rusted out shells of ancient vehicles here and again. There are wooden stands here and again. Look like they were made to have goods for sale. But what really catches your eye is about 40 meters away, in the midst of all this, there's about a meter and a half high grasses with large seed pod fronds.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I am staying far away from those things.
Yeah, we've
Uh,
seen those before
yeah,
at the
there's
gas station.
on the edges of it. You see a couple of skeletons, and there's fronds growing up out of the middle of them. You can see some fronds waving from like the second story of a nearby building.
Maybe we should go back the other way.
Yeah, those things are bad news. We had all kinds of problems with them in the past.
No, you haven't. I mean, you know what your character knows what these things are. These are of course Zeeth.
I figure my tribe would have a lot of issues with
Yeah,
them.
that would be something that your tribe would have picked up on. But yeah, it's eerie, quiet, Zeeth, sort of waving, just menacingly there, about 40 meters away.
I tell you what we did the last time, right? We had this little guy, and he just like jumped up in there, and it worked out real well. So,
Well, if we can find another little guy, that sounds great.
well, which one's the shortest? I'm pretty tall.
Rex looks over at Monday.
No, I'm not going in there.
I mean,
I've seen those things like munch people. You see those skeletons there? Yeah, I don't have armor that can take that. I mean, look at what happened with the last plant things to me, okay?
man, but I gave you good armor. God. Next time
But
we
it's
were
nothing
in-
like what either the
man.
two of you have. You have much better armor than I do.
Nah, mine's falling apart, you see? Whatever.
My paint job's messed up.
All right, so where are you guys going to go? What you going to do?
All right, let's go back around the other way.
Agreed.
Definitely.
Okay. As you pull out, you can see that Do-Re-Mi has he's grabbed some loose pieces of trash and that sort of thing, and he's thrown tarpaulins over the vehicle and covered it up with that. He's kind of disguising it at a distance. You might mistake it for rubble. It's like, you find it already?
No. I would not recommend to go that way. We'll be back later.
Okay.
Rex will give him a thumbs up as we take off.
All right. So, are you heading to the left of the barrier or to the right of the barrier? The right is clear for about 500 meters, and then you see some ruined buildings. The left, there are ruined buildings almost immediately.
What you think, Rex?
Let's go to the right.
Right.
All right. We'll do it.
All right. So you walk for about a half a kilometer. You reach this cluster of ruined buildings. What purpose they could have served, you can only guess at. The upper stories are bent steel frames. You can't really see anything beyond it. Ancient bits of plaster and concrete hanging loosely. The lower floors are a little bit more intact, though. And now you can see that just to the left of this, there is a low wall that kind of curves with the barrier. So it looks like whatever those people had, it was they had at least built up enough protection on this side. However, you can continue inwards past the buildings, staying outside the barrier, and it's kind of semi-choked off streets here and there. You know, you got like a rusted steel beam leaning here, a flipped over vehicle there. But it is clear enough that, in your armor, you're not going to take any damage moving through that, any of you.
Do we see any people? around?
No.
Do any of the buildings look big enough to be a warehouse?
Right here, no, none of them do. I mean, there are some big buildings, but they don't exactly look like what you have in mind when it comes to warehouse.
I guess we walk past them.
Alrighty. Okay. You go another. Really, you can go about a kilometer on this thoroughfare. There's buildings you can kind of see shadowy things inside of to your left and your right. Some of the buildings look almost completely intact. Others are totally flattened. One or two of the buildings that you pass look like they have been methodically dismantled. Like there's here's a stack of plasteel beams. Here's a careful arrangement of glass panes that are big enough to be reused as windows if they were cut down. That sort of thing. So it looks like maybe whoever was in that settlement near the main road might have been in the process of salvaging a few of these places, but you're not sure.
So in addition to the warehouse, Rex would also like to keep a lookout for any building that might have medical supplies or perhaps power supplies.
Okay. I mean, you can choose a building to explore if you want.
Guys, let's check out one of these that looks intact. So Rex will just pop his head into one of the buildings that looks intact.
Okay.
Good with that.
Alrighty, so dipping into a building, there's a few odds and ends scattered around here. What's interesting is there's daubed in paint on the wall of this building that you're entering is very bright yellow paint is UX, letter U, letter X. You're not sure what that means, but you are welcome to proceed.
Is it like a commercial building or like a store or
there
an
are,
office building?
It's kind of on the corner where two streets cross one another, and one of the walls is almost completely bare. The other just has two giant holes in the front of it. Where windows were either removed or blown out, you would think. And the UX is painted on the solid wall.
Well, what the heck? Rex will step on in there.
Okay.
I'll follow.
I will also go.
All right. It is dim in here. There's some stuff that has obviously been picked through and then shoved into corners, but further back in the building, it looks like this stuff is unattended.
Yeah, why not? Rex will point to the unattended stuff and make his way over.
Okay.
And does it always take you like a minute and a half to make a decision?
I like to make sure my subordinates survive.
You what?
He's trying to keep us alive.
You maybe.
Okay, so most of this stuff is more or less unidentifiable junk, but let's see. You do find Some items of interest there. So that was a 93 and then a 60 something.
92 and a 63.
92 and a 63. Okay. There is a door to a subroom. There's within the subroom. Let me see. There are the remains of an elaborate desk that looks like it's already been gone through, with the exception. There's actually a pair of well-oiled scissors here, just lying on the desk unattended. And the only thing of note otherwise is a thick, heavy brass nameplate on the door to this.
What's the nameplate say?
It is. I'm typing it to put it on the screen.
Sweet.
Is that R.O. Emolb, Executive Director? You're not sure if that's a title, if that's a person, or what, but... And 85, let's see. Searching around other rooms. Oh, this catches your eye immediately. Immediately there, probably sane. There is a green box about a third of a meter long, maybe 100 millimeters wide by a quarter or a fifth of a meter high, and it's got a devilishly complex looking latching mechanism and a handle, and it's a dark green color.
Oh yeah, I'll move straight forward to that.
Okay. What you have there, when you pick it up, there are there is writing stenciled in yellow on it.
Is it decipherable?
Oh, absolutely. Let me see. It was 85. Says caliber .50, 12.7 millimeter slap. You're not sure why you would need to slap it, but there you go.
Yeah. Does it appear to be ammo that any of us can use given our current weaponry?
With your current weaponry, no, but you know something about ammo. These are pretty big bullets.
Right on. Yeah, I'll just I'll point it out to the remainder and say, hey, check this out.
And that box seems so useful. You're like, yeah, you could put papers in there, you could put more ammo in there, all kinds of stuff you could do with that box. Am I right, people?
We can put R.O. Emob, Executive Director's nameplate in this thing. We got all types of stuff, but I'm gonna hang on to this if it's cool with you.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I mean, maybe you'll find something that uses that ammo.
Okay, while searching in other rooms, again, it's stuff that looks like it's been fairly well gone over, but high up on a shelf in a closet, you find a container similar to this one, but rather than being made out of faintly rusty metal, this one is made out of a yellow polymer. And it's heavy, and it is shut, and its latch is snapped closed.
Well, somebody try to open it. Let's see what's in here.
Go for it, Monday.
Can I figure out the latch?
Oh, yeah, you don't have to roll or anything. It's just click, open it.
Okay. All right. So open it I do. Carefully.
Okay. Inside, packed in crumbling, kind of soft, spongy material that seems to just turn into sort of a grayish, blackish sand as quickly as you touch it, is a device that reminds you of a laser pistol, but it is stubbier and thicker. It is definitely a weapon of some kind.
Does it seem to take the same cells as our laser rifles and pistols, or no?
No, it does not have a hydrogen cell receptor. It's actually got a triangular, a narrow triangular opening in the bottom, and there is a triangular, an elongate triangular item that looks like it fits right in there.
Okay.
And
Seems like some kind of woman device.
Does it
All
seem
right.
to be in good condition that it would work?
Yes, it's in fair condition. Looks like maybe the seal on the box gave way, so it's not as bright and shiny as it could be, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely you've not seen this exact type of hand weapon before. None of you have, but yeah, it's matte black, has kind of a bulbous sort of a flattened bulb on one end, and engraved on the grip is a skull and crossbones.
Ooh. I'll
See
take
if
the
you can
box.
get it. See if you can get it to work.
Yep.
Monday.
Okay.
Alrighty, so give me a D10 roll, please.
D10.
A7, yeah, there's a tab there marked safety that's kind of similar to your laser pistol, so you flip that up. Give me another D10 roll. Alrighty, you realize that if you just slightly pull back on the trigger after you've snapped that triangular item in place, that a green light just above where your thumb and your forefinger sit on the back of it flashes once, probably indicates it's ready. Give me one more roll. You're not sure how hard you should pull that or not. Go ahead and give me another roll.
I figure it's going to be hairline, so I'll just carefully pull.
Okay. All right, you figure it out, and after kind of looking at the little digital display above the light and everything, what you have is a functional black ray gun.
Ooh.
The black ray gun is essentially a 4-shot death ray. It is very bad to be shot with a black ray gun. A black ray gun uses a chemical energy cell. Its maximum range is 50 meters. Its effective range is 25. Instant death to living targets not protected by a force field. Otherwise, it has no effect. So if a target, even if they have like a portent up between you and them, it just fizzles when it hits. But yeah, it's not dice rolls. It's instant death if you pull the trigger.
Nice.
So
this is like the last resort type of weapon.
Maybe.
Or if we're vastly outnumbered.
Yeah. But I mean, a herp, that 20 hit dice acid fire spitting beetle, You shoot it, and it goes down. Don't roll dice. That's just the end of it.
Nice.
However, an android armed with a neutron rifle beat zap. It's not going to affect them.
Okay, so it's only biologicals.
Yes, only on living creatures. And it is one living creature. You can't pan it back and forth across a bunch of Zeeth and wipe them all out. You'll kill one Zeeth plant.
Oh, okay. So it's basically boss monsters. All right.
Yep. That is your BFG, if you're familiar with Doom.
What kind of cells does it take?
It takes chemical energy cells, and there's one in it, so you have 4 shots.
Okay, so when we're looking for more batteries and such, chemical cells will also be on the list.
Correct.
Oh, that's a good find.
It is what you make of it.
All right, so you guys gonna look around in the building a little bit more?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see if there's any sort of location marking on here.
You spent about a half an hour looking through the rest of the rooms in the building, and it looks like most of the stuff was already piled up and sorted, and it is junk. Worse junk than the RO Emulb nameplate, the scissors,
I'm assuming there's no medical supplies at all. Everything's been stripped that way.
That is correct.
Emulb is bloom backwards. So, is there a secret message here, Spock?
It was just in the rule book. I just copied it and pasted it. Hey PML, I bet you won't do that super again. I'm kidding. I know it's fine. All right. So by the way, last night. Was it last night or was it? No, it was Wednesday night. PML was going bonkers with supers, and dude, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. That was so freaking awesome. The guy paints up my Grenadier Red Dragon to just absolute perfection, and then walks in last night and just drops crazy supers. I still can't. That was just awesome. Thank you so much. But anyway, so you spend about a half an hour searching the rest of this building, and you don't find anything, and nothing finds you.
All right, guys, let's continue on the path.
You got it.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so there is a door in the back of this building that opens up into a very narrow street that looking out, it looks like all nearby buildings are facing that also. It's not choked with rubble, but there's a couple of places where you're going to have to go one at a time, and Rex is going to have to turn sideways to fit through some of the choke points. But you can, of course, still go back out the way you came in.
Yeah. Let's go through the rubble, guys. See something new.
Okay.
Break a path.
All right, so you are pushing your way through. You don't go that far because, even with your strength, it does take a while. Let's see. That wasn't what I intended to roll. think I know what that is. I wish I was completely knowledgeable about the monsters and encounters in this. So you kind of come out into a slightly wider area, and you hear a pinioning of wings overhead. You all glance up, and about 20 meters overhead, hanging on the side of a crumbling building, are I say, let me see how many here. Okay, you see these faintly greenish, yellowish moths that are about a meter long, and when they start flapping their wings, they're about 2 meters across. They are blash, radioactive moths.
Have they seen us?
Yeah, I mean, you're making noise going through here, so they heard you, and they're kind of being disturbed. The party is surprised. However, that does not count for Probably Sane. So Probably Sane, you have the call. What are you doing?
I have no choice but to shoot one with the laser rifle.
Okay, make your attack roll, please. That will absolutely hit.
Alrighty.
New dice, nice.
Oh, yeah, green and black speckles. Very, very nice.
Look at that.
Yeah, you singe a hole in it. Rex, you are surprised. They're basically spending their round flapping and flying. Let me see. Yeah, they're taking to the air right now. They haven't flown down to you guys, so they spend their round. They're now flapping and flying, and there's 7 of them. Surprise is over. You going to take another shot there, probably?
Absolutely.
Take your shot.
One moment. There we go. Weapon class 13.
Weapon class 13, 8. They don't have great armor class. I think that will absolutely hit them. We'll just go ahead and say it. They're armor class 8, so I don't have to keep scrolling back and forth. That's better. Yeah, you puncture one and it plummets down to the alley. So there's 6 left.
Sweet.
Let me see. That was 8. Oh, yeah, you absolutely zeroed him. So what is Rex Dashington doing?
Well, he's gonna pull out his laser pistol and shoot another one.
And how about Monday?
I will use my laser rifle to shoot.
All right, let's roll initiative then. If you would, Yang, please. That's a D6 for the side. All right, take your shots. Are you concentrating on one, or are you shooting at separate ones?
Same one, I guess.
Okay, take your shots. You get a class 8 and I think laser. 5 is gonna miss.
Okay, I will fire.
12, let's see. Laser pistols and rifles
Class
are both
13.
class 13. Right. That hits. So roll your damage. All right, you burn a hole in its wing, and they kind of spiral down. So they have closed in, and they're hovering about 5 meters above you guys, and their undersides are glowing a yellow glow, and you are seeing your Geiger counter is starting tick 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 tick. There in your suit, Rex. So. I'm guessing you guys are going to shoot in this round, and I'm guessing you're gonna take a shot too, probably.
Yeah, I'd like to dash backwards 20 meters with my powered plate, and then take a shot if possible.
Yeah, you're dexterous enough at this point that you can split fire and move. That will absolutely hit one of them.
Nice.
All right, a solid hit, but that one is still mobile. What are Monday and Rex going to do? You guys going to try and move out of these things' range, or what?
Rex will try to move.
Yeah, I'll move too.
Okay. Let's go ahead and roll initiative, and it is your turn. Safi, go ahead. D6. Roll it. A2.
Ouch. Ooh.
A 1.
Nice.
All right. So you guys move back, and they flap their wings and angrily move forward. So Rex, did you use basically your jets to move backwards?
Yeah. Well, yes, if it means that he would have moved back far enough so they couldn't catch him on the same turn.
Yes, absolutely. With your armor, you can do that. Essentially, you jump backwards. The only question is how fast can Monday move? Your plastic plate does not impart any additional movement. So let's see here. Let's see.
Dex is 14.
All right. So movement. So let's 17. $12 meters per 10-second turn. So yeah, you were able to move out of their radius, and you can just faintly taste metal as they kind of pulse their radiation pulses, but then they realize you guys aren't there, so they stop that. But you're now out of range of their radiation pulses, and this is something that Monday knows, that 5 meters is the death zone for these things, and you're now maybe twice outside it. Probably saying, you're going to shoot at that one again?
Yeah, I have 2 charges left.
All right,
So
take your shot.
One of them now.
That is an absolute hit.
All right.
And you burn it down. Zorch. So there are 5 left. So in the new round, they look like they're going to be moving towards you because they pulsed, but you guys were already out of the way. So Rex, what are you doing?
He is going to try to shoot one down this turn.
Okay, you firing at the same one that you shot at in the previous round? Easy to spot.
I missed it, so if there's one damaged, I'll shoot at that. If not, just whichever one.
Okay, yeah, there's still a damaged one left. And Safi, what about Monday?
If I shoot this round, can I stay out of the death range? Do I know that from experience or no?
They are pretty quick, but they will have to move to you to get you in the death range first. You're not in radiation pulse range.
Okay, I will fire then the rifle.
Okay, take your shot. 820, nice. A solid hit. Look at the hits on that one. Go ahead and let it rip. The damage, I mean.
Ooh.
29, that being the one you shot before, right?
Yes.
All right. It's dead. There's 4 left. So they flap up, and yeah, they're right over you again.
Should I take my shot?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yes. Take your shot.
Oh,
And you miss. They're moving, so you're like, zatch. So there's 4 left. Probably saying you're going to shoot this round.
I am.
Take your shot.
All
That's
right.
a hit. Dude, you have a hot hand tonight.
Yeah, I'm happy about that too. 24.
Yeah, that's a solid hit. It's still up, but that's definitely a solid hit. Okay. You shot one as they're flapping in towards you. So it's going to be Sapphire and Rex. You guys are going to shoot, correct? Or are you going to move again?
If I'm in range, I'll move.
Yeah, if they're in range, I will move too.
Yeah, they'll be upon you in this round. So Doomsword, roll initiative for the side, please.
Yeah, so I'll just keep moving.
All right. It's a tie, so you guys are basically moving together. You guys move back, and they close that distance. So yeah, you've kind of moved back out into the street now, with 4 of these things following you. So new round. Probably saying you're taking your last shot.
Yeah.
All right, you may do so.
Come on.
17.
Yes.
That's and 22. You drop it.
Awesome.
There are 3 Blash left. So Sapphire and Yang, are you guys going to shoot this round?
Not if I'm in range.
Yeah.
You're not.
If they can.
You're not in range now. You guys essentially moved in the same the same time, the same distance.
Okay.
All right,
so
then I
can
will
shoot and then move next. Okay.
Yeah, I will take a shot then.
All right, let's roll initiative, and we are to you, Yang. Roll initiative for the side, please. 4, another tie. So they're moving at you guys now. So go ahead and take your shots. 17. That's a hit.
Nice.
Now, was that at the one that that Monday had already winged in the previous round, or a different?
Yeah, a damaged one.
Zap.
That's a sweet roll.
That is 2. That is 2 Blash remaining.
And then I will attack.
Yep. 18. That's a hit. You guys have definitely. Wow. All right. So yeah, you've gone from running to the Blash to just like baiting them and shooting them. So yeah, that's 1 badly injured and 1 intact, and they do their move, and they're now over you guys. They swoop in 15 meters, and they're hovering above you, and their bellies are starting to glow. So probably Sane, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know the frequency of the dash with the power armor. If I can dash back again, I will. If not, I'll just move back as I'm reloading.
Okay. Let me see. I could be wrong. I'm thinking it doesn't have a let me see.
I don't recall one, but I'm not sure that I tried to use it consecutively like that before.
Well, we haven't been using it so far, and we'll just keep on keeping on. We won't slow up the game. So let's go ahead and, keep on keeping on. Do you have one more shot left, or do you have to reload in this round?
No, I'm reloading. Yes, sir.
All right. So dropping a magazine, slapping another one in. Rex and Monday, you guys are shooting, correct? Or are you moving?
No, moving.
Move.
All right. This is an important initiative. You guys need to win this. No pressure, Safi, but roll a d6. A 5. A 3. All right. You move 12 meters. Rex, you move back I think it's a 20-meter jump back, and they pulse again. Like you can see like motes of dust rise up from the electromagnetic effect of their radiation pulse outward. Vaughn says, do it like charging in D&D. Well, here's the thing. It's the armor. It's not them. If it was them just running like that, I might treat it that way, but it's the armor. Yeah, you guys move back. Do you have any more shots in your magazine, or do you need to reload there, Rex?
Well, I'm using the pistol, so I still have 7 left.
I have
okay.
2 left.
And you have 2 left. Okay. All right.
It's like every other one is a move, so it's not a fire.
All right. You've reloaded, probably saying.
All right.
Are you're gonna shoot in this round?
Yes, sir.
Yes, like a jetpack, or in this case, magnetic repulsor, or in the case of lighter armors that maybe don't have flight systems per se. It's like the myomer, the synthetic muscles are able to bunch and release to help them propel themselves. All right, take your shot, please. 14, that's a hit. Were you shooting at the wounded one or the not wounded one?
I assume the not wounded one. I've just been moving around the range.
Okay.
I'm really happy with all these hits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Solid damage too. That thing did not like that. All right, so Monday and Rex Dashington, take your shots. Are you guys focusing fire again on an injured one? Are you spreading out?
I think they're both injured at this point, aren't they?
They're both injured.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Just take your shots. That's a hit.
Nice. Nice.
23. Good Lord. Yeah, so there is 1 Blash left.
Get him, Monday.
Oh.
Not like that.
Figures.
What the dead one plummets right in front of your beam as you're peeling off a shot, and you just punch into it, and insult to injury, it hits the pavement. Well, this one is pissed, and I'm guessing you're going to take a shot at it in a new round, probably, right?
I sure am, and I suppose I'll say something along the lines of, "I ain't got time to cover your ass too."
All right, take your shot.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Zat, roll your damage.
19.
All right, you burn that one out of the sky. 7 Blash, and I didn't even give you guys a Chernobyl tan. So that's
Oh, you got a little sigh there.
that's the that's the end of that combat. What are you guys going to do?
I think we should get out of here before there more come.
Yeah, that would be a good plan.
So you're going back out onto one of the larger thoroughfares?
Whatever way takes us away from the radiation.
All right. So not going down the alley, but continuing up the street. All right. As you move down a side street, you're looking for buildings and so on and et cetera. Rex, you see, like, from one building on one side of the street to one building on the other, rubble that looks like it's been pushed and piled. There are lots and lots and lots and lots of spots on the ground here that are blackened and burned. The rubble that's been piled up has like jagged pieces of metal and glass hastily stuck into it.
Are there any people around?
You don't immediately see any, but then you hear like probably you catch this immediately. There is a sound up on a nearby roof, and there's someone up there with a crossbow, and they're pointing it down at you.
Check it out. Straight up.
They hadn't fired, but they are looking over the crossbow sights.
I'm going to keep my rifle down. I'm not going to point it in their direction.
Okay.
Rex, you see him? You got this?
Rex will look up there and he'll keep the pistol in the holster and he'll wave and he'll say, "Hello there."
The person up there, you don't hear them say anything, but words enter your mind. They're speaking to you with their minds. The words say, or the voice in your head says, "Have you been near the plants?"
"Oh, hell no. We walked around."
"Let me see your bodies."
No. I mean, you can see the suit's all intact.
He brings up a spherical object in one hand and says, "Let me see your bodies or I'll throw this at you and I'll pick over your corpses."
I'm taking it. It looks more like a grenade than a baseball.
It's spherical and it's got like a ring on it.
Hey, rad's coming off that thing, Rex.
Oh yeah. Anything pinging on the?
No.
Do we all hear this or just Rex?
Oh, you all hear this. Like he's not speaking, but this is reverberating in your heads. It's like someone
I'm gonna hold up my hands and I'm gonna turn around slowly so he can see my body.
Under the armor.
Really, dude?
Don't fuck with me.
Well, the problem is that grenade would really hurt a lot if I wasn't wearing this armor. So I really don't have much of an incentive to take it off.
This will blow right through that armor. I just gotta know.
Is this some sort of way of asking to see my bare ass?
No, man. Your abdomen, your gut.
Yeah, sure.
So I take a piece of armor off, I show it, and I put it back on. I take another piece off, show it, put it back on.
That's fine. It's clear he's not like this is not entertaining for him. How about Rex?
Did he make any? Well, he didn't make any hostile moves. So, all right, Rex will he'll pop the top of his dome, and he'll come out and he'll lift up his shirt.
Okay. All right. All right. If you want to come in, come in. And if you don't, just keep moving.
What do you got there?
What, here? This?
No. I mean, what's inside? We're looking to trade for parts. If you got spare stuff.
All right. If you want to trade, come on. We've got a little.
As a matter of fact, you should probably show me that. I've seen a lot of these out here in the wasteland that don't work the way you think they do.
Now, I've seen these things used before. I know what this is. If you want to trade, you can come in.
All right, man. Have fun blowing yourself up. I'm an expert.
Come on, let's see if they have anything good.
I'll go with Rex.
So Rex will get back in the suit and close it up and go on in.
All right. Climbing over the rubble, picking your way through the iron spikes and the transparent steel jagged sheets of that and so on. Yeah, this would chew up someone not in armor. You realize it's not just like randomly piled there. It's like fixed in with mortar. Just on the other side of the barrier, you can see clearly there are skeletons, like burned, blackened skeletons where things had come over. There's a couple of youths, maybe 14 summers, and they are standing either side of a door of this building that this guy was yelling at you from, and both of them are holding what look to be glass containers of some kind with a rag stuffed in one end and a clear liquid in. And they have a little coal brazier on the ground next to them.
All right, so we got some youths, right? And
right.
This dude, is that sphere he was holding glass? Like, if it falls on the ground, it's gonna shatter.
No, you don't see him anymore.
Oh, okay.
He had stepped back away from the roof.
Hey there, your buddy said we should come in and see what you have to trade.
Yeah, we heard. You can come in.
You gonna let me? That's the story.
He gestures at the door. Yeah, you can come in.
Alright, I'll let you stick to that. I tap my laser rifle. Let him know who's boss.
Okay. So this is basically like an indoor common living area. There are a few people here that look like pure strain humans. There are some obvious mutants. And you know, they're all kind of watching you, and coming down a flight of stairs in the corner is the fellow who was up on top of the building, and he speaks briefly. Actually, you don't hear anything at all. He just kind of looks at a couple of people, hands one the crossbow, and they go up the flight of stairs, and he looks at you and says, "I'm sorry about before, but I needed to know if you had the plants in you or not."
Yeah, it never ends well if you got those plants.
How many individuals we have in here?
Well, we're 37. We're holed up pretty good.
Man.
Yeah.
This is where you stay?
For now, until we can figure out how to get rid of the rest of them plants and take back what was ours.
Man, I couldn't live like that.
Well,
Do you have a lot of people that come in from the outside?
haven't seen too many, no. We had to burn a bunch that did. Do you guys You guys know about the plants and what they do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're familiar with them.
I
That's why we
seen it.
avoided them.
Yeah, how did your village deal with them?
Mine didn't. We learned.
Man, my village is everywhere.
Oh, wait a minute. You think those are just normal Zeeth plants? They're not. That's what we thought too. And our doc, well, when we had one, just figured he could just, you know, he was good at getting the seeds out. But once they got into the people, they didn't want them out. They grabbed a bunch of people, including the doc, and dragged him to where the seeds were. And then they all started acting crazy and tried to get back in, and they made it in.
You talking mutated Zeeth, man?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Damn.
But
This world just gets worse and worse.
once they get inside you, it's like you go crazy, and you want to make people be near the Zeeth. It's horrible. I mean, my own brother, he dragged our mother kicking and screaming into the middle of him, and then she came out and started yelling for me and everybody else. We got out of there as quick as we could, and anybody from the settlement we saw, we burned them. And then some others have come through that way. We burned them too. It has to
I'll
be
tell
that.
you what. I've been around the wasteland for a long time, and whenever somebody talks to me this much, it means they want something from me. What is
Look,
it you want?
if you want to trade, that's fine. If you want to stay here, that's fine too. We got no extra food, but there's plenty of room in this building. If you want to become part of this tribe, you can, but you got to promise to pick up your end and do your work. That fancy suit that you're wearing and your friend there is wearing, that will that keep the Zeeth out?
It does.
Well, maybe if you want to be part of this tribe, maybe you help us deal with the Zeeth.
There's only one part for me about being part of a tribe, is I got this irritating problem where I try to be the leader of the tribe, if you catch my drift.
Well,
It is irritating.
Right now, I'm the leader of this tribe.
Right now, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
He draws himself up. You figure he's maybe 19 summers. So he's no little kid, but he's not probably sane. He says,
He's
"Well,
not filled in yet."
Well, mister, I'll tell you what. I didn't realize that was still on. I'll tell you what. Like I said, if you want to do some trading, that's fine. And if you want to be part of the tribe, that's fine. But I'm in charge around here. Fancy suit or not.
Fair enough.
Do you know the city and buildings by any chance? Because we are looking for specific things in the city.
Yeah, we were trying to pick through, I mean, from ancient times stuff, we found some good junk, and things were going great. We had the lay of the land, and we'd cleared out a few of the old paths, but we were just getting on our feet when the plants came up.
You have any maps or anything like that you could kind of draw something for us and
Uh,
label where the plants are and where certain stores might be?
A mat?
A map.
Map? I don't know what that is.
And explain to him, Rex.
Well, you
I'm catching
see,
some shine eye.
and then Rex will go into like a 10-minute explanation of representational drawings.
Okay. Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, I guess that's kind of convenient. I wondered what those things were with all the lines on them. A map. A map. Okay. I mean, we didn't really have those. I can tell you how many streets over our settlement was.
That'll
Close
work.
enough.
We can do something with that.
Okay. Well, hey everybody. If these folks need to trade with you, go ahead. We can't spare any food or medicine. I'm sorry, but like I said, we found some good junk in the buildings. Oh, local. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
So what do they have?
Okay. Well, let's take a look here. I'll find out what. Alrighty. So they bring out a few boxes of stuff that they managed to salvage. Oh, that's not what I wanted to roll. Let's see. Come on. We can do better than that. That's a little better. So most of it is, it's things like cloth, some small articles of furniture, that sort of thing. Nothing necessarily particularly useful, but a few things do catch your eye. So let's see. Oh, and by the way, you're all close enough now. That sphere that he was holding, it looks like some kind of ornamental device that's had a little ring like tied to it with a bit of twine. At a distance, it looked like a grenade of some kind, but now that you can see it up close, it's obvious it was some kind of ornamental thing.
So it's a problem.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Sorry about that, guys. One of the guys actually brings out a box that you guys recognize. There's nothing. There's not like a complete piece of equipment in there. but there are switches and knobs that look like they came from the control panel of a bubble car. There is a yellow plastic box. It's almost a perfect cube. And you recognize this, actually, Rex, and probably both. It is a chemical explosive. It's nice. Like a soft, shapeable chemical explosive. A fishing rod and reel that's in good condition. And he has a spool of 20 meters of copper wire. So that's just some of the odds and ends they've got.
What do you want to do? Obviously, we grab it all.
Well, what do you got to trade for it?
Well, what you want?
Well, I mean, oh, Vaughn, thank you. Eye beast, stalking, observing. Well, I mean, we can always use some food. Do you have any weapons you could spare?
I got a weapon, man. I ain't got no food. I eat what I salvage. I have 2 vibro blades. I'll pull out one and activate it. Show it off. How about this for a delight?
All right. Probably Sane has an insanely high charisma for being just basically a giant butthole.
Yeah, and I just got for my level. I just got a +1 charisma bonus that takes me to 19.
Yeah,
maybe I ain't role playing, but whatever.
All right,
maybe
so
that is role playing.
So yeah, he kind of rubs his chin and he says, well, see, I see you got 2 of them there. And I mean, just, one person with one of them. I mean, if that person goes down, can you maybe do both of them? Because I know that's see the markings, and he holds up the cube, and it says, explosive, and that was an ancient that was an ancient place where they made bombs, an explosive, and this is a bomb.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I'm sure you didn't bring out all your stuff at once, right? You got something else hanging out back there. Maybe top off the deal a little bit and we'll work it out.
All right, maybe we've got some more junk. All right, see if there's any boxes that got any more stuff in. All right, so he let's see. All right, they've got an obviously broken cash register. Let's see. It's got a solid Duralloy scale model of it's this long, sort of narrow, bullet-shaped object. You actually saw the remains of one of these at the Atlanta spaceport. This is obviously a miniature version of a vehicle, and on a brass plate attached to it, it says SSS Savage Dictator. You're not sure what that means, but he's got that. And last thing of interest.
Make it good.
The dice will make it good.
That was to the dice gods.
Okay. There is a cluster of 6 aluminum cylinders that are all sealed. He said, I don't know what is in here. There's something kind of lightweight feeling in here. You want to, we were kind of concerned. Do we want to pop this open now?
What do y'all think? I got a total of 3 vibros. I'm giving up the 2 extras. That leaves me with 1. This seemed like a fair trade.
Rex will say, guys, if you throw in that panel with buttons, I will throw in this. And he's going to pull out that greatsword that he got in Disney.
Sweet.
Okay. Yeah, they're getting 3 melee weapons and 2 of them are vibro blades. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Wait and leave the tubes sealed until we can try to figure out what they are.
Am I getting any radiation? Oh, sorry.
A little bit of background radiation, but nothing, nothing horrible.
Because if we open them, we might activate them or whatever.
All right. As you guys are standing there, you hear from outside, you hear a cry of surprise and the sudden chorus of moans and voices being carried forward. It's Bliss! Join the plants! Serve them! And you hear a crash and a sudden uprush of flames. One of the youths runs back into the building and goes, he yells, the planters, they're coming! They dragged Tommy off! And that's where we're going to stop for the night. And on a cliffhanger. So next week, guys, next Friday, we're going to find out what's going to happen with the attack of the infected plant people. So definitely you guys want to tune in for that. Thank you very much, Gumby and Vaughn, for the awesome supers. Always appreciate that. I'm touched. I really am. So don't worry, Gumby. Calfen has been noted in the charts because a Volkswagen-sized metal-eating dragonfly is never not funny. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and hanging out for the Gamma World game. Monday night we'll be back with some real RPG news. Maybe I can get a little insight onto wizardry. Maybe find out some more info about that if you guys are interested. If not,
we're interested.
I'm sure I can find something to talk about on Monday. Of course, Tuesday night we will be back with a little preamble ramble, and then we will play some first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, much as we played some first ed Gamma World for you guys tonight. Wednesday, Kyle's not here Wednesday, so guess what? We're going to have another class in how to DM first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Thursday night, we'll have to see. I'm feeling like Thursday night we're gonna deep dive this awesome looking zine that I have been hyping up here. I will acquire a PDF and we will legally I will purchase it, and we'll start getting into it because it looks really awesome. And then Friday night, guess what? We're right back here, and we're going to find out what's going to happen to these awesome adventurers. So again, big thanks to Yang Yan Zhao, Doomsword, and Kennick, and all you guys out there. Thank you for the likes, the subscriptions, the donations, the supers. You are all very awesome, and I love each and every one of you. And until then, guys, of course, you got to know that there's mutations everywhere. Fear the mutants, and keep your eyes open for the dreaded owl bears. Good night.
Night, peeps.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere, in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around, some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad, all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the